special interest in the need to complete a bunch of tasks in a limited time frame, the joys of neurodivergency. I made over 13 stylized Spotify This Is artist or band spoof playlists for NoPixel RP characters, and I'm gonna talk about setting on like it's MSN Messenger in 2008, it's AJ versus the internet. Two things. I do not own the music in this video / the rights to this music, and I do not own the clips. I have credited them to their proper owners and specifically asked all of them for permission, even if one never responded to his email. A quick note to the streamers is that you cannot play these on your stream, as the DMCA is a real nightmare and I would feel terrible if you got a strike or terminated. I do not own the artwork for the Grognak plus Squad playlist that belongs to Sad Squizzy on Tumblr, and I have gotten proper credit from them. And the PSD template that I used, I got from DeviantArt user Renee's Rap. Fun fact. Roleplaying used to be one of my various hobbies for over a decade. Other fun fact, I have way too much free time on my hands. I grew up with an admiration for music, wanting to be in the industry as a saxophone player. Funny thing is, my brain focuses on one thing for a certain amount of time and will lose interest rather quickly, hence why I no longer play the saxophone. So, making these playlists and the video was working against the clock of when I would just go meh. If you're even seeing it, it means that I beat the clock and it is finally done.
Do you see him? Do you think a depressed person could make this? No.
I made playlists for a bunch of characters. I give a reasoning behind the genres or meanings of the songs that I selected to highlight in this video. I also briefly talk about the graphic design choices I made. There's a lot to discuss and very little time to do so. The playlists that I did make were for the following in this order: Stephen Hayes by Farmhouse78, Sherry Pie by Roxmiral, Don Hart by NeveRossa, Troy Donahue by FlawlessWhale, Flop Dugong by ChrisTombstone, Anto Murphy by Bosch Merchant, Alex Soderberg, most commonly known as Lil Cap by JayAitch, Jimmy Umami by San Paku, both Roland Nelson and Bryce Miller by TheLGX, Posy Florian by LetterJaye, and I will finish off with none other than Grognak the Destroyer, Attorney at Law by Call Me Kevin.
Troy Donahue is.
Well, I gotta make a call.
Hold up, I'm getting a call. I'm sorry, Posy. I gotta take this. Hello,
Okay,
this is Stephen Hayes. You reached Stephen Hayes.
I don't know who you are, but it turns out I'm Grognak the Destroyer a lot.
You know I had to start off with the birthday boy, Stephen Hayes.
Oh, no!
Happy birthday
No!
Stephen Hayes is played by Farmhouse78 on Twitch, and today is Stephen's birthday. Stephen's playlist consists of funk and disco as well as Canadian rock. That's because when I asked Farmhouse what music he associated with Stephen, he replied with music along those lines. Well, specifically funk and disco, Farmhouse and I are both Canadian, so I want to include that touch as well. As I mentioned earlier, each character has a specific song that I associated with him that I wanted to bring up and talk about. For Stephen, I picked the Depression Suite by the Tragically Hip, a Canadian band close to my heart as well as the heart of the nation. The song's narrator, Gord Downey, talks about the struggles of leaving bed as well as wanting to reach out and communicate with the people around them who are also struggling. Stephen has only been shown to give glimpses about his background to a select few, and I think he definitely suffers a lot more than he lets on. Other songs included are What You Gonna Do by Chilliwack, She's a Rainbow by the Rolling Stones, Silly Love Songs by Sir Paul McCartney and Wings, as well as Raspberry Beret by Prince. The revolving theme around Stephen's playlist was to just have a little fun and also dance to them as well, and there's also a romantic theme behind there because I think Stephen is definitely a romantic and maybe romanticizes his life a little too much. As for the playlist cover, I went with the official logo for Farmhouse and I dropped the various shades of yellow and orange. I also used a gradient over the Spotify logo to just give it that extra touch of fun. I ended up liking it so much that I put it on all the other playlists and giving it their own touch. As a final note, under the title of This is Stephen Hayes, I also added You've Reached Stephen Hayes. I tried making it as a shadow as suggested by one of my viewers, and I was doing this live on Twitch, but I wasn't pleased with it and went back to just having it a regular black font. Now it's time to get a little weird and alienistic, I think.
Guess what? You can drag all the dead bodies out of Burger Shot alone.
Dead bodies? Excuse me?
Yep, human meat.
Oh,
There's
Got
human
you, ma'am.
meat?
I got you, ma'am. Oh shit, we got that on film.
Alienistic and weird. That's all the requirements that Roxmiral, who plays Sherry Pie, gave me on their birthday stream. I was stumped for a bit, but thanks to the internet and Spotify's radio feature, which saved my ass, I was able to embark on a journey of Sherry's playlist. I think that Sherry has one of the most unique playlists, as most of the weird songs that I came across, they just managed to fit her really well. The song that I feel best matches Sherry, however, is Andromeda by Wei's Blood. Wei's Blood described the song as loosely based on the Greek myth, as well as the galaxy, and also being a woman, accumulating wounds and having to go out and be tough. Something about the song just strikes me as Sherry, who's a take no bullshit kind of person. She stands up for herself, her friends, and she generally will call it shit when she sees it. As an example, in this clip.
Probably not, realistically.
How dare you!
Thank you so much.
How
no.
dare you! How dare you say that, Grognak? I swear
I
to
need an
God,
ambulance.
how fucking dare you say that?
Other songs to highlight on this are Pixel Fiction by Yule, Celestial Breakdown by Tonebox, Self-Esteem Fund from Portal, composed by Kelly Bailey, and Tangerines by Slight. All space vibes, all for Sherry. Originally, the Spotify logo and background was going to be a rainbow gradient, but as I was editing this video, I decided to make it a green gradient to give the appearance of a UFO beaming you up. It's definitely strange, but I enjoy it so much. Now I think it's time to take a road trip on a good old motorcycle.
Am I the only one that gets emotion out of me?
So far, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. Don't.
When Jenna Marbles left the internet last year, I wasn't expecting to ever see her again. Luckily, and while I think this is completely coincidental, Dawn Hart exists and gives off the exact same vibes, even if it isn't intentional.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah.
Dawn Hart, who is portrayed by NeveRossa, has got to be one of the most compassionate and loyal characters I've ever seen in a roleplay setting. She's got a laugh that makes you grin, and she generally tries to help everyone she meets. The artists that NeveRossa associated with Dawn upon asking her were generally indie, alternative, or folksy, ranging from Aurora to Hosier to Mumford & Son. Luckily for me, I still listen to indie, folk, and alternative, as noted in the next playlist after this, and I was able to pick from my various range of the exact same 25 artists that I listen to. The song, however, that makes me think the most about Dawn on this playlist is actually Pretty Places by Allie and AJ. As an old lady to Negan Graham of The Lost MC, I imagine that Dawn spends a lot of time on the road, and this song is a road trip anthem. The song makes me think that Dawn would pull over to the side of the road and just appreciate the view as much as she could. Other songs that I want to highlight are Me and My Dog by Boy Genius, Running with the Wolves by Aurora, Angel of Small Duff and the Codeine Scene by Hosier, and Strawberry Blonde by Mitski. The color scheme changed throughout the process, going from a bright pink gradient to one that was more pastel. It matched the colors with Dawn's jacket a little bit better in the photo. It also gave off a better impression of a Spotify spoof background for a more folksy, indie, alternative vibe. Now it's time to talk about a hero and the unofficial winner of the Bachelorette competition turned hostage situation.
Alright, yeah, so what are you getting into? I'm just looking to go hang out with Steven later. We were supposed to have a talk like 2 weeks ago, and then I kind of disappeared on him.
Oh yeah, he mentions that.
Rat, I feel terrible.
Anyone who's a storyteller is able to recognize Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey right away. That's why when Troy Donahue first moved into the city of Los Santos, little did the audience know that he was about to embark on his own journey. FlawlessWhale is the mastermind playing Troy Donahue, so let's get into it. Troy's playlist is mostly inspired by my own kind of listening, as I heard Exit Lude by The Killers on one of FlawlessWhale's streams, and I knew instantly what kind of music to go for. Being a big fan of The Killers myself, I was excited to go with Troy's playlist, and it's probably the reason why it's one of the ones that I listen to the most. So going from there, I went with alternative rock and indie. And because of The Killers, the song that I personally associated with Troy the most was Crossfire by Brandon Flowers. Between the kick-ass music video with Charlize Theron, the best, or just how Brandon sings about letting your guard down to your partner and allowing them to be there for you, this song has it all. It's definitely one that I think fits Troy really well. Other songs that I thought suited Troy were the following: Chinatown by Bleachers and Bruce Springsteen, Renegade by Big Red Machine and Taylor Swift, Runaway Horses by The Killers and Phoebe Bridgers, as well as Leather Jacket by the Arkells. I just realized that 3 of those songs include featured artists, and I'm not mad about it. It makes sense. The cover is relatively simple as well. I just grabbed hex codes from Whale's banner art and added some orange to a gradient. It took a while to get the tweaking just right, but thanks to my viewers on Twitch, it feels like it's retrowave, but it's also like going to the beach and watching the sunset, which fits Troy really well. Now it's time for a former EMS turned officer of the law.
But also, Flop, you will be shooed until you can no longer stand. Okay.
Well, Your Honor, I was gonna say,
literally
what
went
if...
to HOA court and got shooed to death too. What it says?
Well, you're getting shooed.
Your Honor,
In the time that it took me to edit this video, my original intro of my favorite paramedic went bad. Former paramedic, but now patrolling the streets as a PD, as a cadet. I don't know how police works. I'll figure it out soon, though. Flop Dugong is portrayed by ChrisTombstone and is now an officer. Yay! Approaching Chris about music that he associated with Flop, he responded with EDM. Unfortunately, I have not kept up with EDM since high school, so this playlist was a collaboration between myself and my friend Rafflepwned Noob. Thank God I finally got that out. Who listens to EDM a lot. So thanks, Raffle. After listening to a bunch of songs and still not understanding how EDM works, the one that stood out to me the most was Time Travel Kool-Aid by Half an Orange and a Fixa. Flop's personality is generally fun as he seems to deal with a lot, but manages to keep his head up, smiling, happy voice, and still has a good time regardless of who he's with. Also touches base on him wanting to do things that he can no longer do. Other songs that I think suit Flop on this playlist that also deserve a shout out are Feel the Beat by Darude, Flicker by Porter Robinson, 1984 by Mord Fustang, and Never Stop featuring Ellie Reed by FM84. Much like my indecision about the playlist itself, the cover changed a few times as well, landing on a red background and Spotify logo thanks to the color scheme of Chris's logo. I'm not really mad that my original intro got cut because Flop became a cadet, but you know, maybe one day I'll be able to use it again. Now it's time for a loose cannon who is also Irish and happens to be unofficially married to Grognak the Destroyer, attorney at law.
Gunner! Yo, just run! Just dip! Just dip, Pete! Just dip! Yo, the boys. The end come up clutch.
Love him or hate him, the man has got a great taste in music. Anto Murphy is portrayed by Bosch Merchant, and upon asking Bosch what kind of music he would associate with Anto, or what kind of music Anto would listen to, this is what he had to say.
I'm not sure if you want an Anto playlist. Maniac 2000. The Prodigy, no good. Voodoo People. Faithless. I can't get insomnia. I can't get no sleep. Encore une fois. Encore une fois. That's kind of Anto's music.
Now, I grew up in the early 2000s in Canada and was probably way too young to attend a house party, but that didn't stop me from trying my best, god damn it. Dance and electronic as well as what I think might be house music from the 1990s with repeating pulp a little too much. I think it's definitely a fun playlist to have blasting as you're running from the cops, or if you're exercising, emphasis on the latter. A song specifically for Anto that I associated with him would be This Corrosion by Sisters of Mercy. This song was introduced to me through the 2013 film and my personal favorite of the Cornetto trilogy, The World's End by Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, and Nick Frost. I want to include this song for Anto because think about how cool it would be to have Anto pursued by the police while this song plays on in the background. One of his associates shooting out the window, or maybe Anto himself is trying to shoot and drive. I personally can't do that in GTA Online, but that's because my reflexes are terrible. Other songs that I wanted to highlight were 20 Seconds to Comply, The Bomb Squad Mix by Silver Bullet, Step On by Happy Mondays, Caught by the Fuzz by Supergrass, and The Hand That Feeds by Nine Inch Nails. As much as I wanted to add Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You, I wanted this playlist to be more reflective of Anto rather than of Anto's relationship with Grognak the Destroyer, attorney at law. As for the background and color palette, it's the Irish flag. Shame me all you want, I wasn't gonna make a sim background for Anto. It was a cop-out, but you try and think of anything for the first playlist cover you did for this. In a heat wave, mind you. Anto is Irish, but our next dude is part of the IKEA gang.
Alright, my name's Lil Cap. I'm
What's going on, Cap?
A rapper.
Would you rather be called Lil Cap or Cap?
You can call me whatever, man.
I'll call you Cap.
His name is Alexander.
Oh no, for
What's
fuck's
up,
sake.
Alexander?
I do not know Swedish, but Alex Soderberg does, as he's a Swedish rapper under the name of Little Cat. Played by JayAitch on Twitch, Little Cat produces constant hits and lives the good life. For this one, I had to listen to a bunch of Swedish hip-hop and rap, which I didn't even realize existed. But I guess that's because I live under a rock sometimes. I also looked through translation websites to see what they were saying because I was generally confused the entire time. It's okay, though. But unlike the other playlists on this video, Little Cap actually has has some of his own music on here. I have to talk about Sky's the Limit. I play this song when I'm driving sometimes or when I need a pick-me-up, and it usually does the trick. I think it's because of the background that it really accelerates how I feel. I think it's because I just really enjoyed the message behind the song, even if it's meant to be a song that's only played in the GTA NoPixel verse. I really enjoy the song, I'm not gonna lie. Other songs included are Hurt Feelings by Flight of the Conchords because it's a silly song, Stockholm by Anomaly, Jackpot by Effie, and unfortunately I had to include it as it is my ringtone and I love it, Popcorn by the Swedish Chef from the Muppets. I'm really sorry, I just really like that song. It's a bop. Lil Cap's background is yellow and blue because it's the colors of the Swedish flag, which is masked over the Spotify logo. Even if I don't understand what they're saying, I like this playlist a lot. All jokes aside, I would like to take things a little slower and maybe take a bike ride around Los Angeles.
What's going on? Are you guys good out here?
Like a bitch. Stay out of this
All right.
burger shop wielding, fat wielding fuck.
I have a fear of riding bikes, but it's completely rational. Please don't ask any questions about it. I won't answer them. That's why when I approached the bike guy himself, Jimmy Umami or Sanpaku on Twitch, I was afraid that I screwed it up. But he likes the playlist, so I'm valid for once.
Hi all, this is Kermit the Frog, and I'm here to tell you the story about Emmett Otter's...
For Jimmy's playlist, I wanted to go with Californian surfer / skater rock of the 70s and 80s. Something for Jimmy to have while he's riding around the city of Los Santos when he's not working. Something that makes him happy. However, most of the songs ended up being from the 2010s. As with the previous characters, the song that I most associate with Jimmy is Needing / Getting by OK Go, but the video version. There is a difference. I debated the differences between both the album version and the video version, but I thought that the video version was just so much more fun. I feel like he would just look at that music video and just be in awe. It's an amazing music video though, so I don't really blame him. This playlist changed a whole bunch of times in different genres, but the other 4 songs to highlight are Humility by Gorillaz and George Benson. Yes, that is the music video of Jack Black. Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads, Dreamy Little You by Kitty Cat Fan Club, and Handlebars by Flowbots. The most repeated keys are the keys of B and D in this playlist, which is very interesting. It also has a high energy as well, as I checked the average energy rating on Choizic, and it rated it as 69. The background and the logo are colors grabbed from the Burger Shot uniform that Jimmy wears. It's just bright and cheery. It's a good match for Jimmy in general. Now, let's roll the dice to see which LGX character.
No,
He's
call Mr.
not.
Marlowe.
Yeah, he's not.
You
He's
can't.
really not.
You can't be joking, right? You're not.
They had close.
There's no way you're joking. You're not gonna. You wouldn't joke about that.
Roland Nelson is portrayed by the LGX, and it's just one of the 2 characters on this video that LGX has. So let's start off with someone who lives, laughs, and loves by the dice. That was cringe. I went to ask LGX what kind of music he associated with Roland, and I wasn't surprised that the answer was smooth jazz. It seems fitting, as it would be the kind of music that a man who lives by the dice would listen to. The song in question that I think is the feeling of rolling a perfect D20 of this playlist that also just happens to match Roland is going to be Star Treatment by the Arctic Monkeys. It's an off-brand choice to this playlist, but it's just so fitting. It's got that smooth feeling to it. Other selected songs from this playlist include Fletcher's Song in the Club from Whiplash, composed by Justin Hurwitz and Tim Simonek, Echo by Joe Satriani, Green Tea by John Schofield, and Lenny by Stevie Ray Vaughan. The guitars in 2 of the songs are just reminiscent of a jazz band that is actually good. When I made the playlist cover for Roland, I was a massive fan of the Vegas Golden Knights, but after how they traded Fleury, and yeah, I know it's off topic and I know players get traded, but it's absolutely another sword in the back to not tell the face of your franchise that you're trading him, and he finds out over Twitter. The color scheme is just pulled from Vegas's logo, as Vegas is the gambling capital of the world. I made the gradient into a diamond because, well, they're on cards. Before I go into another rant about Vegas, let's just skip into the second LGX character on the list.
Chilling, dude. Vibing. You look good today.
Thanks, and you.
I know.
As indicated earlier, Bryce Miller is the second character portrayed by the LGX in this list. Bryce is a child from a... Apparently when I was typing out the script, I tried typing wealthy family 3 times, and each time it came up as Wheatley family.
Hello!
So that's fun. Bryce is from a rich family, but he was disowned and is working hard to become a successful businessman without the support of his family. Although I believe he's already made his own new family. So there are 2 general themes to the Bryce playlist that I want to quickly discuss. I quickly asked the LGX over Discord what kind of music he associated with Bryce, and he mentioned lo-fi, but I also asked in his chat previously what kind of music people associated with Bryce, and someone said sad soft boy, so I'm going for a mix of both with a preference for the sad soft boy vibes. I was going through my Discover Weekly and stumbled across a song that made me switch from a lo-fi to a mix of both because of how much it made me go, oh wow, that's Bryce. And that song is Cut on the Crease, the opening track to Kobe's album Class of Cardinal Sin. It felt really raw, and there was a lot of pain behind the vocals, which maybe I'm speculating, but Bryce didn't have such a great relationship with his biological parents, so maybe? Other songs that I think that the sad soft boy aesthetic along with the lo-fi are Sit Next to Me by Foster the People, Apache by Danger House, Bees in My Lemonade by Kid Keo, and Summer Depression by Girl in Red, which before anyone goes, but she's a sapphic artist. Yeah, I know, but I feel like Bryce would misinterpret that. Or much like how the lesbians adopted Four as a lesbian icon, they would also adopt Bryce as a lesbian icon. Obviously, Bryce's color palette reflects the signature sweater that he usually wears, and you know what? I think it works really well. I think it looks great. Now it's time for a girl who spells her name out loud for everyone and has a heart of gold, but probably keeps a diary talking about death.
Get in the fucking car, Posy! Get in the fucking car! Oh my god!
Posy Florian, or P-O-S-Y Posy, is played by the iconic LetterJaye. She's got a childlike sense of wonder and rocks any look she has. I tried dyeing my hair the usual blue that Posy rocks, and it tragically turned green, reminding me that Posy wears wigs and is able to get the right color every time. Posy's music is very much a cute and upbeat lo-fi playlist for the most part. I wanted to use various soundtracks with happy beats, but decided against it. That being said, there is one exception, as there was a song that I felt matched Posy way too well. Friend by Casey Lee and Jeff Williams from Ruby's 8th volume is about Penny Paulina, but I also got a great sense of Posy when I was putting the playlist together. The accompanying music goes from somber to joyous with fireworks going off in the background. Posy lived a very sheltered life until she came to Los Santos and when she was able to start enjoying her life because of all the friends she did make. That is the only song in this playlist that is actively not lo-fi, but I wanted to share some other songs that also get the warm fuzzy feeling inside that Posy brings to the table. Those being Sunflower by LetterJaye, Watercolor by Sleepy Fish, Bouquet of Balloons by Biosphere, and a cover of Pure Imagination by Basti. I want to go with vibrant colors for Posy's playlist, ones that are bright and optimistic to match Posy's view of the world. I think that Posy has a great playlist if you want to read or write to it. It really makes the difference. Finishing off with the whole reason why I got invested in the storytelling of NoPixel, it's our favorite non-binary icon who stomps villages and has amnesia.
The grip I have with these stilettos. Oh.
No, I'm not.
Avery, don't.
The first GTA RP video that I ever saw was also the very first Call Me Kevin video I ever saw. It was the one where Grognak was ruining a commercial, and I've been a fan ever since.
Being in the pool. Please, I'm a one-take kind of guy.
What do you mean? We've done like 5,
I just
6 takes.
please try to concentrate.
And I messed up once.
Try to concentrate.
Put him down.
Okay?
Put him down.
Put me down.
You're stressing me and I'll put him down.
I'm gonna go to my trailer if you don't lower your voice, okay?
Grognak's playlist is quite chaotic. There's a lot going on there to narrow it down to just one genre. I think that fits Grognak though, and Kevin really well in this case. I used a video that Kevin put up about the kind of music he listens to. Obviously Ring of Fire had to go in there, so did the other random songs like On the Road Again, Not Letty, I'm a Believer, Firework, etc. I tried to keep it in one genre, but my god, what a chaotic mess this is. I think the song that fits Grognak the most is Problems by Mother Mother. For someone who has only just returned to Los Santos and suddenly disappeared again, I hope Grognak appears soon. I miss them dearly. The amount of problems that have been piling up because of Grognak's antics, too many to count. Also, Mother Mother is too accurate. I included other songs that aren't meme-ish too. Demons by Haley Kiyoko, Somebody Told Me by The Killers, Potential Breakup Song by Alienation, AJ, but it's the explicit version, and 10,000 Lovers by Ida Maria. The background for Grognak contains the hex codes of both the trans and non-binary flag, as Grognak is a non-binary icon and uses whatever pronouns they want. The Spotify logo is a callback to Kevin's previous RP series with Grognak, in which the first episode, Grognak was pistol whipped for being a communist. This playlist is so goddamn confusing, and it's a miracle I even finished it in the first place. Oh my god. Hi, it's me, AJ. So we reached the end, and this video is already like super long, so I'll try to make this as quick as I can. Quick thank you goes out to the streamers who I have mentioned in this video. Y'all are great. Thank you for humoring me and thank you for allowing me to use your videos and your characters. This is the first project I've completed since this whole panoramic started, and I finally feel a little bit better, which is really hard because like I have all these writing projects that I want to finish and I can't seem to finish them, so this might be a boost. I have a whole bunch of other character playlists that I want to do in the future. A quick thank you to everyone who has supported me on Twitch. I am on a Twitch break for now. I'm hoping to be back soon. I had to go work in my industry for a few weeks and it was great. I definitely feel refreshed, but I also need to take a little bit more time to just, you know, feel a little bit more better. This video is like super long and like I recorded at least 15 hours worth of audio just trying to get the words out. I have a really bad stammer and I have a speech impediment that I'm like super hyper aware of because it was like pointed out to me a bunch. Anyway, I'm really tired. I'm gonna go chill with my cat now, probably take a nap, and I don't know, watch the Owl House. But until then, and I'm just signing off. I am signing offline for now. It's your friend AJ. So bye everyone.